maybe a good day to sit inside and fill out the ballot, right? Yeah.
Good.
All right, let's take you to this.
The monster.
Yeah, that's right. This is the real wide view of the Pacific Ocean from the west coast to clear to the west of Hawaii. And it shows our atmospheric river originating down here in the deep tropics. See the green? That's where you have a super high moisture content. And the moisture transport in this is what we're really watching. And that's going to increase a little bit, and it's been heavy all day, but it's going to actually peak in the next few hours as that all moves right here into the northwest. It's aimed right at us. The fact that it's perpendicular to the mountains, that means the mountains are able to maximize the lift that the mountains provide to the air, which brings out even more precipitation from the clouds and the air mass. So again, it's something we call integrated vertical moisture transport, and that is super intense right now here into the northwest. In Portland right now, it's 59 degrees, our warmest temperature of the day. Winds have backed off a little bit, but the rain continues to fall. And boy, does ever continue to fall up at Timberline Lodge, just dumping up there. We're not getting any observations at the moment from Timberline, but we did earlier, and we did from the weather station at the top of the Magic Mile, which had a peak gust this afternoon of 114 miles an hour. But perhaps even more impressive than that, if you can imagine, is that the gusts from 10 a.m. until 3 p.m., so a solid 5 hours each hour, were all over 100 miles an hour, and the sustained winds are all over hurricane force. So that is a long duration of really, really strong winds up there. 1,000 feet lower, not nearly as bad, but still strong winds at Timberline of 44 miles an hour. The Coast Range west of Salem, one of the remote weather stations, clocked a gust of 55. The Fremont Bridge, the wind gauge there, 37. And the Glen, I know, with two ends, Glen Jackson Bridge, 40 miles an hour over on East County. Okay, so here's Doppler radar, and notice this circular pattern here with the heavy rainfall. That's just where the band, where the radar beam is intersecting the heavy precipitation that we're getting. There's heavy rain inside that as well, as you know. Now, we've got so many watches and warnings to get through. The flashing orange, that's for our wind advisory, which continues as scheduled till 1 a.m. But we also now have a flood watch here and flash flood watches across parts of Clark County because of the fact that we're getting that super intense rainfall. Flash flood watch and the wind advisory and the flood advisory, all of that concurrent with each other. The flash flood watch, because of those intense rainfall rates, we're getting rainfall rates quarter to a half an inch an hour in the mountains, sometimes an inch an hour. And when that happens on fire burn scars, you're going to move mud. You're going to have debris flows, mudslides, and the like. And that's why we're so concerned west of the Cascades with that. Of course, they had the big fires in the Cascades of Washington, the Bolt Creek fire in particular. So they got flash flood watches up that way as well. And then the red, those are all the high wind warnings. And then northeast Washington has a winter storm warning because they're on the cold side of things already, which we will be as we go into tomorrow. This is much colder air here. This is the warm, humid air, that high moisture transport that I was talking about. It does break up a little bit out there. So we're going to get out of this later on tonight, but it's going to be several hours before that actually happens. So look at the rainfall here. We hardly ever see the modeling predict this widespread heavy rain, unless it's like a hurricane, where you get the yellows and the oranges. That's now basically. And then by 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock tonight, it pushes south and we begin to dry things out. The weekend more typical. It'll be cool. It'll be wet. Steady rain coming back Sunday morning, but more typical this time of the year. And then there's this as well. We have a thunderstorm threat right along the Oregon and Washington coast during the day tomorrow as we get into that cooler and unstable air. So again, it's all happening now. It's going to keep happening for the rest of the evening. The strong winds, the heavy rain, the freezing level, nearly 10,000 feet, but that'll be dropping overnight and be down below the passes tomorrow. So heavy rain and windy tonight, gusts of 45, showers, breezy tomorrow, but gusts more like 25, and highs will be in the low 50s as opposed to the upper 50s of right now. And then don't forget, we get that extra hour of sleep, so there's a time for a breather. You know, catch up on the wildness of the last couple days. And then Monday, Tuesday, right on through Friday, Tuesday through Friday anyway, all look dry. Cold, but dry.